So it's not a thing that you find in the Cappadocians. You find one reference to the word opposition, but that's not relations of opposition.
Okay, so what do you think relative? Okay, so what do you think relative oppositions are, and what do you think the church fathers mean when they say oppositions? Since the formal properties in the essence, don't import any relations and they don't make room for any relative opposition. So what would you say?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? What doesn't make room for that?
So, for example, like God's divine wisdom and God's divine being, or God's divine wisdom and God's divine truth, things like formal properties like that, they don't import a real relation between each other. It's just a logical relation, so there's no like relative opposition there. But because the persons import a relative opposition, then there's subsistent relations. But you don't hold that. So I want to know.
Well, we believe that the attributes or the energies actually are really distinct. So I don't have a problem. I don't have the inconsistent position of saying that the attributes are all synonymous with each other and with the divine essence, but also the persons really are distinct. That's the Thomistic position.
Wait, you believe that the attributes are so you believe that God's wisdom is not identified with his goodness at all?
Correct.
Okay, so then how would you respond when someone tells you that, you believe in a composite being?
Yeah, because I don't believe in a composite being any more than you do, because you believe that the persons are really not identical to each other. So you believe there's a real distinction between the Father and the Son. That
doesn't even make sense.
It does, because it's the very argument that's had for centuries about this issue.
No, so composition comes from a dependency relation in the formal or the essential properties in something. So the reason why I'm a composite being is because I'm a black man. My skin color is dependent on my substance, which is me. Now, there's nothing proper to God.
You're saying you're not a composite. You said you're not, or are a composite being?
No, I said I am a composite. I'm giving you an
right.
example.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Right. So when it comes to God, we're now going to say, obviously for the Thomist, I suppose, because we don't take this position, but that all his formal properties are only like virtually distinct. I'm sure you know this.
Of course, and we think that.
So then, hold on. So how does it lead to modalism? Sorry.
Because it's not consistent to say that the attributes are all identical and identical to the essence, and that the persons are also strictly identical to the essence, but the persons are distinct amongst themselves. I mean, have you read any of the topics, any of the discussion of this topic?
Right. I've read a couple of papers. I've read the Sacra Theologia. I've read the Aquinas Summa. I've read a couple of papers.
You've read the Aquinas Summa. I'm saying, have you read on the debate between East and West on this topic? Not have you read a bunch of Thomism?
Yeah. Typically, the East, in my opinion, no disrespect, they typically just cry about things that are not relevant.
Okay. Well, let's talk about. Do you think the Bible's relevant?
I think the Bible's relevant. I think the Bible goes against your position, but
okay. Well, let's talk about that. So in Leviticus, do you think?
Hold on.
No. Let's go to that, because that's the key point. Do you think God's glory is created?
God's glory depends on what you mean by glory, and the way that glory is like
the way that Jesus talks about sharing the Father's glory before the foundation of the world.
Right. So I would say that God's glory is his end, which is identical to himself, but in the way that he distributes it.
So it's his essence, right? Because all the attributes are the divine essence, right?
I mean, what would you even define glory as?
I mean, you don't think this is used in Scripture?
I would just say glory is just like a manifestation of God's being.
Oh, exactly. And so God's being is his essence, right?
Right.
Okay, so did God's glory ever appear in time and space?
Right. So God can distribute his glory to creatures in the second.
No. Did God's glory itself ever appear in time and space?
Right. So I just said it depends on what you mean in the distribution.
Did the way it's described in Leviticus 9?
Right. So can you relax so I can answer?
Did God's glory appear in time and space?
Relax so I can answer you. Thank you.
I'm relaxed. I want the answer.
Okay. So let me answer. The manifestation of his being can be modally conferred to creatures secondarily.
No. The glory is not a creature, so you just made a stupid mistake.
Hold on.
So you worship creatures.
Hold on. Let me finish.
You just said it's transferred to a creature.
So I said it can be communicated to creatures in a secondary.
So the glory of God in Leviticus 9 is a creature that they worship.
Not true. That's not what I said, because
you did just say that.
Categories. Okay, J. Dyer, you're smart.
Here we go. Calling out my name.
Let me speak. Right, yeah. I'm calling out your name, being respectful. You need to let me speak. Let's have a respectful discussion.
But you already contradicted yourself.
I contradicted myself. Okay, sure. So
Yeah,
now,
you just said that it can be. You said the glory is God's essence, and you're saying now it can be conveyed to a creature. So the worship of a creature as God's essence and God's glory.
Is God's being identical with his existence?
No.
Okay, so God existed prior to his existence?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
God always had a distinction between his essence and his energies. He always transmitted and communicated his glory amongst the persons from all eternity, and it's not his essence.
He didn't exist, though. His existence is not identified with his being. He didn't exist. How did that happen?
How did what happen? He's always shared that glory, as Jesus himself says.
Okay, when you say he shared that, you're presupposing the thing in question, his existence.
Does Jesus say that in John 17? Was Jesus an eternal person?
No. Stop referring to Scripture.
Exactly, right. Stop referring to Scripture, because your position actually is totally divorced from divine revelation. Did God's glory appear in Leviticus 9?
Okay,
stop referring to Scripture. Notice how the Thomist operates, everybody. The whole audience can see. Stop referring to Scripture.
You are.
Stop referring to Scripture.
Can you actually stick?
Here we go. So now he has to go to personal attacks. I stick to the Scriptures. He says, stop referring to Scripture.
This guy sounds like a flipping. You sound like Ryan Garcia, bro. Just relax. So
let's go to Leviticus 9. Explain to me how the glory of God is worshipped in Leviticus 9.
If his existence is not identified with his being, but he communicated something to his existence, how are you going to say he
not to his existence, dummy, to another person? Not to his existence, to another person. So you just listen. The whole thing is assuming Thomist. Your metaphysics is wrong. Your metaphysics is wrong.
Why are we shouting over each other?
Because all of your arguments are coming from your metaphysical assumptions, and I'm saying that they're wrong.
Okay, you speak over people when you know they have a good point.
You don't have a good point because you're avoiding the point.
All right, so let me speak then.
Talk about Leviticus 9. That's my argument.
If you're confident, let me speak. Would you let me speak?
If you're going to address Leviticus 9.
Thank you. No.
So you want to address Scripture. So once again, notice he won't address Scripture. Leviticus 9 or you're gone. Are you going to... You're
running away from something.
You're deflecting from my argument. You're running from the Bible. You're running from divine revelation. I'm running. You're saying don't quote Scripture at me.
The scriptures don't prove that God's existence is created.
No, I don't believe that. So now that's a straw man. You know I'm not arguing God's existence is created.
Oh, so something that is not God is uncreated, entirely speaking. So something that's not God is uncreated.
It's called the glory of God that appeared that they all worshipped.
So wait.
Have you read Leviticus? Do you know what's in Leviticus 9?
Okay, hold on. The divine nature is uncreated, and something that's not identified with the divine nature is uncreated, Jedi.
Correct. That's called the essence energy distinction. Right. That's our position. I'm glad you think it's funny, and that's why you don't want to go to Scripture. So what happened in Leviticus 9? What are they worshiping in Leviticus 9?
You can't conceptually analyze what you're saying.
You can't go to the Scriptures, bro. Don't go to the Scriptures, bro. Don't quote the Bible at me, bro. Tell me what's happening in Leviticus 9.
This
guy, man. Hey, bro. Me no got no answer.
So, what's the scripture that you're quoting, Jedi? How does it prove your point?
The glory of God is appearing in time and space. It's a common argument in all Orthodox theology.
Right. So
they're worshiping it. It's not a creature. You can't worship creatures. It's a simple argument.
No. Wait, hold on. So when God appears to creatures, can he appear to creatures to the effects he's made? Yes or no?
Did he what?
Can he appear to creatures through the effects that he has made, Jedi?
It's not a created effect. It's called the glory of God.
Can you please answer this question?
It is not a created... You can't worship creatures. Can you worship creatures? All right, so here we go. So all he does is say my name. He won't answer the questions.
Just answer this question.
No, I'm answering your question by saying that the text refutes you. The glory of God appears in time and space and they worship it. And you're saying, but that right there is a creature, man. That's a creature, man.
There's no way I'm happy to go.
Is it a creature?
Bro, can you actually be serious with me?
Is it a creature? No, I think I think it's funny.
You're 20 years older than me, all right? Just relax. Jedi.
I'm having fun. I don't know what you think. I need to relax.
Stop stuttering. Keep your composure, all right? Keep your composure.
Okay, all right, man.
When God when God chooses to communicate to himself and to creatures, can he do so through the effects that he's made? Just a simple question.
He can, but this is clearly not a created effect. It's called the glory of God.
Okay.
Have you ever had an argument with a Muslim?
Hold on. Yeah, right. So he can.
But that's not what's happening in this passage. So that has no relevance to this passage.
Okay. Now, tell me why in that passage you take it to be that God's infinite essence, or one of his infinite essential attributes, unless you want to say that it's essential attributes.
Because it's called the manifestation of his glory in time and space.
Okay, the manifestation. Yeah, me and you.
His glory is not a creature. You can't worship creatures.
Why do I have to take you?
Because you're not arguing against that. You're just restating a bunch of stuff about the passage. What's the argument against? You're saying it's not a creature.
I believe that God's infinite attributes are really identical to his essence.
I know that. We all know the Thomist position.
In any way, all right. So in any way that the Bible refers to God communicating his divine essence to
So your metaphysics is wrong because it goes against the scripture. That's why you don't want to go to the Bible. That's why you said, don't quote the Bible at me, bro.
Scripture. It's one thing for it to go against scripture and one thing for it to go against your meaning or your interpretation of scripture.
Okay, well, tell me how it is you can worship a creature.
You sound like a Protestant, bro. You need to.
Right. So going to divine revelation is Protestant. Yes, exactly. Did you realize? So you want me to tell you what's really going on? Is that your metaphysics is wrong because it's the wrong starting point.
Look, Jedi, I'm trying to have a respectful conversation with you.
You can keep saying that, but you're just deflecting. Okay, because your argument is that I'm a Protestant now by going to the scriptures, when the scriptures clearly say do you not understand it's the same problem in the incarnation?
What is this guy talking about?
Okay, yeah. So I'm talking about something that's. Wait, so you're acting like this is not an actual debate. You don't think this is an actual debate?
Philosophically, are you conceding that you cannot defend this philosophically? That you have to refer.
So this is the point. My argument is that your philosophical position is wrong.
Okay.
How do you deal with that?
Philosophically, yes or no, Jedi?
Your philosophy is wrong is my argument.
Can you defend it, yes or no?
I can defend it because I have the right starting point, which is divine revelation, yes.
No, can you defend it philosophically, yes or no?
Well, that just assumes that your philosophy is correct.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to philosophy. You want to do that?
No, yes or no?
Let's go to philosophy. I'm saying let's go to that.
Can you do it?
I'm saying yes, let's go to that.
All right, cool. Now, when you have metaphysical attributes that are proper to God.
Okay, how do you know this? How do you know that? Let's go to philosophy. How do you know that that's the case?
You just told me 5 minutes
Let's go to philosophy. I want to know how you know these propositions that you're saying are the case.
You just told me.
I just told you.
You just told me. Unless you want to plead.
You're a sophist.
Be an absolute skeptic for no reason.
Oh, well, that's my point. I think your position, if it was consistent, would lead to skepticism.
What are you talking?
Yeah, because you put your metaphysical cart before your epistemic horse. You wanted to go to philosophy, so...
All right.
If you don't shut up, I'm going to boot you. Just shut up. Just shut up. No, you're on my stream. You don't tell me what to do.
Don't talk to me like that. Relax.
No, you don't talk to me like that. You're on my stream.
Have some respect, all right?
No,
talking to
I said I'm going to boot you if you don't shut up. You're not. I'm not. I'm on my stream.
Kick me because you can't respond to my argument?
No, I want to go to philosophy. Do you hear me?
Are you going to kick me because you're insecure?
I want to go to philosophy.
All right. So stick on the topic at hand.
And the topic is about your metaphysics. I don't believe your metaphysics.
Can you explain to me how God is being?
Why should I accept your idea of being in metaphysics about God?
I'm not saying you should accept it. Just explain it to me. I want to know.
I have a different starting point for what's possible and what God can do. It's called divine revelation. You don't want to go there, it's fine. Let's go to philosophy. So, why should? Do you believe in self-evident truths?
No.
Do you believe in self-evident truths?
You said God has being, but God's being is not.
I have a different paradigm from you.
So just answer. You said God has being, but God's being is not his existence.
Correct. For us, God's being is an energy.
Explain that to me.
So I have a different position from you. So let's go to philosophy.
No, you have a different position. Explain the position.
I'm not. No, it's not. I'm not here to explain the position to you. You came to debate. Let's have a debate. You said you want to go to philosophy.
What are we? I don't know.
You want an explanation for the position? Yeah, divine revelation says that God can appear in time and space.
You don't.
God can. So do you understand that you destroy the incarnation with your stupid position?
You need to extract. You need to expatiate your position so that I can understand in order for me to know where the problem.
Divine revelation is my starting point, and it tells me that God can appear in time and space.
You're adding metaphysical understandings to your interpretation of the scripture.
And you're not doing that. Thomism is a presupposition metaphysics.
I am doing that.
Yeah, we all do that. So what? So you're just stating what everyone knows. So what?
Okay, we have Christians that are genuinely trying to listen to our conversation. So can we stop
the tone policing? Did enough of your tone policing? It's not working for anybody but your small band of idiots. So do you want to talk about epistemology or not?
Small band of what? Bro, please just get
Do you want everybody's saying that you're trash, dude. The whole chat's laughing.
Are you going to explain how God? Wait, the whole chat is laughing. Everyone's laughing at you.
No, they're not. No, they're not, bro. Take a breath for the breath of life. You embarrass yourself by saying, "Stop quoting the scriptures. Don't quote the scriptures at me, man. Let's go to philosophy."
You're just a 40-year-old fat racist.
Look at that. I'm a fat racist. Look at the meltdown. The Thomist can't do anything, so I do a few jokes about his Rasta voice, and he calls me a fat racist. I'm not even fat. What are you talking about?
You're not even fat.
Meltdown.
You sure about that? You should go check. But look.
Oh, I'm fat. Good one. Yeah, did the fourth graders give you that?
Can you defend your position by reason? Yes or no?
And that's why it goes to epistemology, Goofus.
Stop stuttering.
That's why it goes to epistemology. Stop stuttering. The dude literally can't pronounce his words, and he says, "Stop stuttering." Stop stuttering. I can't pronounce me words, but you stuttering, and you're fat by the way.
I bet you have a daughter. This is actually embarrassing.
It is embarrassing for you.
Metaphysics is prior to epistemology. Can you?
There we go. That's what I reject. That's the essence of the point. That's what I've been trying to get you to debate the whole time.
That's not the essence of the point.
It is. That's what I'm arguing. That's the essence of my argument.
Oh my god, this guy.
Yeah, I reject that position because it's not true. You understand? It's a contradiction.
You say
it's a contradiction.
Look.
Let's have that debate.
Hold on. Let me speak. You said that Thomist never makes sense.
Thomists. He calls it Thomists. Right. Oh my gosh.
What's your problem? Do you think you have a perfect accent? Like, get out of here, man.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. Do you got the pigeon? Do you got the pigeon, bro?
You're so immature. You're such a child, bro.
No, because you want. Yeah, you get what you deserve. You won't deal with the topic.
Look at your profile picture, taking a selfie like a
look at it. Profile pictures. This is what he goes to.
Get out of here, man.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. What your IQ is, bro? What they got down there in the pigeon? You speak the pigeon, bro? You want to have the debate now that you melted down?
Yeah, this guy.
You fat, bro.
Wait.
Dude's over here crying. His Jerry curl's dripping because he's crying. Do you want to talk? Let's talk about why. Let's talk about epistemology. Ready? You ready to talk about epistemology?
Why are you getting sensitive, Jay?
You ready to talk about epistemology? You're the one that called me fat. I just made fun of your voice.
Why are you getting sensitive, bro?
Do you want to talk about epistemology?
Bro, grow up.
Do you? So you don't want to talk about epistemology?
I'm asking you a simple question. How is it that God is?
No, you already brought up metaphysics and epistemology. Let's talk about that.
Answer that question.
We already. So you're not going to do it. So you're not going to go. Let's move on to.
Just answer the question.
He won't deal with the actual argument. Do we have any actual Roman Catholics? Here we go. You fat, bro. You fat racist. Fat racist. That's all that they have to go to. Yeah, really fat. Super fat. You're fat racist, bro. Me got the breath of life.